Hi everyone! What do you think of my latest plastic surgery? I'm disappointed as well. America has had a long love affair with transportation, and in fact has invented amazing means of transportation in order to keep all of us from being piled up in New York City like cordwood. The invention of the covered wagon, paddle wheel steamboat, horseless carriage, and Yoshisaurus all contributed to the spread of America across the continent. Though some may point out that this growth was tainted with misery, oppression, and corruption, the balance was pointed out most poignantly by Tina Turner in the introduction to the paddle wheel pop song, Proud Mary. We never ever do anything nice and easy. We like to do things nice and rough. None of which has anything to do with the game Trainmaker, which we will explore on this episode of Shut Up and Watch Dice Hate Happen. Trainmaker is a delightful little game of environmental sabotage, written by Chris Leder, illustrated by Jason the Glovermeister, and published by the gnomes at Grey Castle Griffin Games. It's a game for 1 to 6 bipedal mammals with opposable thumbs, aged 15 minutes and up, and plays in 10 or more years. It was created using Kickstarter, which means that Chris and Jason were repeatedly kicked by Jonathan Gilmore and Stephen Avery until they were allowed to include their game ideas in the box. Speaking of kickboxing, join me on the table and let's learn how to play. The game includes 7 dice, each bearing colorful images of the types of railroad cars that one could find in 19th century America. Note that the spray paint graffiti is not included in the images of the trains, which I must say was a questionable artistic choice. There are also cards showing the locations of places in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, such as Toledo, Se Tatol, and Chkulu-Ago. Finally, you get these darling little tokens. While many might think these are anachronistic steampunk rocket ships, in fact, these are specifically shaped to play an important role in the playing of the game. To play the game, you pick one of the cards at random, and it shows the types of train symbols you must capture in order to claim the card and rescue your self-esteem. Also in each card is the symbol of a professional sports franchise and a special power-up symbol that will only be used in future expansion sets. You then stack each of the dice in a tower, with different dice facing on the top. You then have 15 minutes to carefully insert your card just below the dice that contains the symbol you need on your card. Succeed at getting all your dice, and then you claim the card. 3 cards wins the game. Fail, however, and this is very important, you must not, under any circumstances, say Jenga. Break this rule, and each opponent is allowed to give you 1 noogie for each of the dice that fell off the tower. However, if you knock over the tower without incurring bodily damage, you take one of the black semi-rocket tokens and insert it into one nostril. This lets everyone know that you are halfway to the secret victory condition. Should a player be so unfortunate as to collect 2 nostril tokens, they might feel sorry for themselves and long for the days of Candyland and Monopoly. But do not despair. The first player who is able to sneeze out their tokens with a loud "choo! Choo!" has made a train and is automatically the winner. Finally, please note the safety flanges included on each of the semi-rocket tokens. Under no circumstances should you insert the tokens past this point. If you do, not only are you very unlikely to win the game, you will probably have to purchase the game accessory needle nose pliers, which are currently on backorder. There's much more to this game, including several alternative routes for groups that may have religious objections to building dice towers. However, it's time for my urgent appointment with my ENT specialist, so I'll leave you with the phrase I wake up screaming every night in my nightmares. Shut up and watch dice hate happen. Mom, it burns! It burns!